Welcome back to the Snowflake Admin tutorial series. This is day 4 and today we will focus on virtual warehouses in Snowflake. Warehouses are the compute engines that powers queries, and as an admin it is your job to manage their creation, scaling and optimization. So today's topic would be virtual warehouses in Snowflake. If you remember in the architecture diagram, this comes the second part. First one is cloud layer, wherein we are managing authentication and all of the cloud related operations were there. And second is virtual warehouses. With the help of warehouses, we are powering our queries, like we're querying, we're loading the data with the help of virtual warehouses. And then there's database. Okay. So these are the three layers. So let me switch my screen to my presentation where I have prepared some PPTs for you guys to refer. So, day 4, guys, virtual warehouses is the topic. Today, we're going to learn how to create virtual warehouse using UI option as well as using query. I will prefer query, and we'll learn how to scale the warehouse, how to manage it. So, let's get started. First of all, the definition, like what is virtual warehouses in Snowflake. Okay, and then we'll eventually cover all of those options, like how we are creating them and how we are scaling them, and how we are monitoring the warehouse usage. Okay, as a bonus I will give you one query. That query needs to run using account admin role to get the warehouse sizes. Okay, so first of all, let's get the overview of warehouses. So basically warehouses are required for queries. Okay, what are the queries? What are the queries that we are running? For that we need warehouses on the Snowflake. The kind of queries that we are running: DML operations, including loading the data into tables, querying that data, manipulation. For all the DML operations we need warehouses. Okay, in addition to that, being defined by its type as either standard or Snowpark optimized, a warehouse is defined by its size. So whenever you create a warehouse, by default it will create using X small warehouse size. Okay, and you can scale it up to 6XL. Okay, warehouses can be started and stopped at any time. They can also be resized at any time, even while running, to accommodate the need of more or less compute resources based on the type of operations being performed by warehouses. So whenever I create the warehouses, if I see I need some more power to execute my queries, I can resize it at any time. Okay, there's also option comes with the warehouses. You can auto scale. If there is a load, then it will automatically scale it. Okay, we'll cover that also. So now you got an idea, like what are warehouses. Okay, I think so. So when I say warehouse sizes, it starts with X small and it will go up to 6S large. So by default, whenever I create the warehouse, it comes with X small. So as you know, like we have compute and storage in the Snowflake. So for storage also we are consuming credits, and for compute also we are consuming credits. So these are like per hour credits. Like for X small, it will took it will take 1 credit per hour. For small, 2 credits per hour. Medium 4, large 8. Likewise, it will extend. Okay. So in the introduction, we saw virtual warehouse is like compute resource used to process queries, load the data, and perform transaction. Okay. What is warehouse? It is used to perform DML operations. Okay. Like process queries, load data, okay, and also to perform transformation. Okay. We have storage and we have compute. So these two we can scale independently, and for these two Snowflake consumes credits. Okay. Point to be noted, each warehouse is independent. When I say independent, no resource sharing. Okay. Now think of, as an analogy, think of warehouse like an engine. The bigger the engine, the faster the processing, but also higher the cost. Think of warehouse like an engine. The bigger the engine, the faster the processing, but also higher the cost. We also see the uh, like warehouse sizes. Okay, it comes with X small to like 4XL. We can use it. This 5 and 6, like I think it is getting used by US government only in the particular regions, but not sure. Larger the size of warehouse, more parallelism, faster queries, but higher the cost. Okay. Type here larger size equal to fast processing, but higher the cost. Okay. Please remember these things. So far, we have covered the overview of warehouse, why warehouses are required, what is virtual warehouse, where it, what is a place under the architecture of Snowflake, where it stands. Okay. And then for each warehouse, we are consuming some credits based on the sizes. Okay. So far, we have covered these 2 points. I hope this makes sense. Now, let us move on to demo. Like we'll log into Snowflake and we will create Snowflake virtual warehouse. Okay, so let me switch back to my screen second where I have already logged into Snowflake. Okay, let me take the worksheet. So yesterday, whatever the database we have created, I have deleted it. Okay, now I think we can select Snowflake and then Snowflake Learning DB, whatever. Okay, now what is the syntax of creating the warehouse? So using query, you can do that, or uh, from it always gets changes. Okay, under compute, you get the warehouse kind of option, and from here also you can create. I think we have created one warehouse yesterday, but from here also you can create the warehouses. Okay, we'll go one by one. Let me drop this one first. Okay, let me open this and duplicate the tab. Mhm, 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 mhm. Okay, syntax is simple. Create warehouse name, demo underscore warehouse. I would say X small. Okay, this is my warehouse name with warehouse size. I don't know why it isn't popped up. X small. Okay, auto underscore suspend. Auto suspend equal to, like, after 1 minute of auto underscore resume. So if someone runs a query, if it is suspended, it should automatically resume it. Initially underscore suspended equal to, okay. Now let me run this. Well, I think let me try it small. Error should come. Okay. Now we have created our warehouse. Let me see it in UI. Let us refresh it. Demo warehouse. Okay, it is initial state is suspended. Good, we have created warehouse. Congratulations. Now, if I want to change the size of, like, alter the warehouse, like if you're running some load and you haven't enabled the auto scaling option for this warehouse, then you have to manually alter the warehouse sizes. Like from UI also you can do that. Let me see. Open this, and from here you will get edit option. From here you can change the warehouse size. Okay. Now let me try it using query. So same alter warehouse demo underscore wh underscore small set warehouse underscore size equal to medium. Spelling is correct. MEDIA medium. Okay. Let me execute this one also. Let me verify. The size is medium now. So this is how you can change the size of warehouse. Now let us start this warehouse. Alter warehouse demo underscore resume. Yeah, warehouse is started. Okay. Here you can see running queries and queued queries. See. Now let me suspend it again. Alter warehouse suspend. It got suspended. Okay. If you want to remove, you can use the drop command, or from here also I showed you how to drop it. Now drop warehouse demo done. We dropped. So remember, like we use these two, auto suspend and auto resume, while creating the warehouse. These two parameters, auto suspend and auto resume. So they are basically used for warehouse cost optimization feature. If somebody comes to you like, can you optimize this warehouse? So let's say for now your account is consuming 1000 credits. You got and tasked to how you can optimize this so that we can save some credits. So these two features like auto suspend save credits when warehouse is idle. When the warehouse will be ideal? Idle, not ideal. When the warehouse will be idle, like if somebody is not using it at all. If I'm running some query, I need to put that warehouse here. Like, let me show you in the UI. Here, you have to select that warehouse, like complete warehouse. If I run some query, then only it will resume. Otherwise, it will be in the suspend state. So they are really useful parameters to save our credits. Now let's get ahead. to scaling options. So we saw the two options for scaling, standard scaling and multi-cluster scaling. So when I say standard scaling, I have only one warehouse wherein I can increase the size of warehouse so that I can get more consumption power and get more power to process the queries. Okay. And when I say multi-cluster scaling, it will add multiple clusters for concurrency. Okay. So I can use one query to explain you like what is multi-cluster warehouse. But let us say for the sake of overview, let me switch it back to my PowerPoint side. Yeah. Scaling options. Okay. We can scale a single cluster, single warehouse by resizing it. And for multi-cluster scaling, add multiple clusters for concurrency. Okay. So when I say multi-cluster, by default, a virtual warehouse consists of a single cluster of compute resources available to the warehouse. Okay. As query are submitted to the warehouse allocates resources to each query and begins executing the queries. Okay. I'm submitting 2, 3, 4 queries and I will get one resources to execute those queries. Okay. If my resources are insufficient to process all of those queries, so rest of the queries get queued. So the resources become available until I show the result of the first query. It was like FIFO manner, first in, first come, first in, first serve, whatever it is. But whereas in multi-cluster warehouse, we will get dynamically resources so that the large pool will get segregate, I would say. Okay. This one is also like we can define the size, what should be the minimum cluster size and maximum cluster size when scaling it back. Let me switch to my screen first and we'll, we'll create one multi-cluster warehouse. Okay. And then we'll go to best practices and then we can close the session. Let me create the multi-cluster warehouse. Create warehouse multi underscore c underscore warehouse multi-cluster warehouse. Okay. With warehouse underscore size I would say small only and the start. Okay. Minimum underscore cluster count equal to 1 and maximum cluster count would be, I think we'll implement one project where we will see actually the out of this multi-cluster warehouse. Okay. And we need to specify scaling policy also while clearing the warehouse. I would keep it like medium only or economy. Let me execute this. Let's see what error. Min cluster count. And see, I have to change this max You should read the errors first. Warehouse created. Let me see in the UI. And got started. Scaling policies, economy, minimum cluster 1, maximum cluster 3, size is small. Got it. This is how you can create the multi-cluster also. Switch it back to our PPT, and I'll give you some point like how you can optimize it. Always enable auto-suspend whenever you are creating the warehouses. These are the best practices. Use multi-cluster for high concurrency workload. If Power BI and these kinds of clients are there, you should use this multi-cluster. Separate ETL warehouses and BI warehouses, and monitor credit usage using account admin queries. Okay, you should monitor the warehouse usage. So let's see if we can, like I got this query from the Google. You can use this for daily warehouse usage. Okay. Daily credit, like what are the credit that are getting consumed. So you can see warehouse name, daily usage. This is the fantastic feature, like I'm saying this now. Daily credits, compound credits, compute credits, okay. Cloud services, how many credits we are consuming. This is actually awesome. You can use this query. I'll add it in the description also, no worries. Thank you all. So just to recap, today what we have learned, we learned about virtual warehouses, their sizes, how to create and manage them, the scaling option, and the best practices. And the best practices. So, like on the monitoring stuff, also we have one query. Using that query, you can monitor the warehouses consumption on a daily basis. No worries. I will add those queries in the description. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your questions in the comments. Stay tuned for day 5, where we will dive into databases and schemas in the Snowflake. Okay. Thank you.